All right, and here we have him. Mr. Jamison, how are you, mate?
Better now, good to be here.
Jammer.
Hello,
mate.
excited
Pleasure.
really quickly.
You two know each other.
Hello, mate.
You two know each other.
And we also
have Mr. Michael Maloney, very
Maloney.
close friend of Mike, long-time high school buddy.
So he's been hanging around for like 4 or 5 episodes, and we had to put him in. So here he is. So we're here to do what episode are we?
Number 40, obviously.
Yeah, because you've seen 39.
Of course.
Hey, first of all, you used to do a podcast, yeah?
I was the OG of podcasts.
Yeah. You
Jammin's
you
Junk.
used to watch it, and was Wigo once
Wigo
on
was
it?
the start
Because he
of
told me
everything,
he used to.
Wigo was the
get-
best, actually. He used
Yeah.
to sing a song every
Yeah,
week.
no, he was good. So
Yeah.
you were like the OG. We used to get down there and listen to what you
Yeah.
had to say.
I should be featured in the credits of this.
You are going to be featured. All right, let's start.
Get into it.
Number 40, 150 games.
On the dot.
Did you ever think you're going to get to 150 games when you first started as a rookie?
Yeah.
What did you think?
I thought there was no chance. I thought Gavin Krasiska got me down the footy club from North Ballarat, and it was sort of a bit of a get lucky sort of thing, I think. And anyway, Dennis Pagan gave me a chance on the rookie list. I was a rookie for 3 or 4 years. Nominated rookie so I could play. But to answer your question, I thought there was no chance in hell I was going to play 150.
Yeah, especially getting, like in the rookie, like you just, we're going to make it.
Yeah.
And we had some fairly good players at the time, didn't we?
Well, I was going to say the opposite. I was going to say
Oh, really?
I was probably lucky we weren't doing that well.
What year were you in?
I got,
Six?
I think we wouldn't spread
Oh,
my
yeah.
first
Yeah.
couple of years.
Yeah, no, you're right. We started losing
How old
those
were you?
players.
You're just
Well,
trying to be
Libra-
nice, aren't
I was
you?
trying to be nice.
Liberatore on the footy show pointed at me playing my first year as a reason we were tanking.
That's comforting. That's very comforting.
Libra said
Check him out.
when they did the Cruiser Cup in the first year against
that's
Melbourne,
Yeah.
and he went on the footy show and they said, "Do you think the Blues were tanking?" He said, "Well, I don't know about tanking, but we're playing guys like Jamison."
Anyway, was like Michael Jamison a fullback.
Thanks.
So that was the confidence I took out of the first
You're a pretty
year.
skinny, scrawny bloke, aren't you? When you first
87,
started.
yeah, 87 ring and wet.
How old
Yeah.
were you when you got drafted?
I was a bit older, so I was 20, which was like a mature age
Yeah, back then.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Now they're 26,
Yeah.
27.
So how did your footy story start? Were you always a defender, and then how did you sort of become the player you were at the club?
No.
So from junior years up through the...
What do they say
through
that
the NFL?
defenders are forwards that just don't make it?
Yeah.
Which is probably a bit true in my case. So I was born in Hamilton, in the country. 2
Okay,
hours west
yeah.
of Ballarat.
Races out there, Hamilton
Hamilton
Races.
Races,
There you
yeah.
go.
Billy Picken was the secretary of the Hamilton
okay.
Race Club.
There you
So
go.
a bit of trivia for you.
There you go.
I just played footy like I'm sure you guys did growing up, just with mates. Wasn't a good player. Was just as you said, scrawny and dangly, and used to play.
Be modest.
When I was 15, I played on ball, and then when I was 16, I played in the ruck. So I had a bit
Yep.
of growth spurt. Played 6 games of TAC Cup, so just a not regular, just a battler.
Really?
How'd you go in those games? You must have
No,
fairly.
not really. No, I think I was always one of those players that they potentially could be something. So they'd throw me a few games here and there. So TAC, I think I played forward. Then I went to the Roosters in the VFL under Gav Krasiska, which I said. And then he was the one who threw me back.
North Ballarat?
Yeah.
Roosters? North
Roosters.
Ballarat?
Yeah,
North
that's
Ballarat
right, yeah.
Roosters.
So he was the one who threw me back. Got lucky on the rookie list. First year of VFL for the Bull Ants. I think Barry Mitchell played me on the wing and half back. So I was just
Barry Mitchell, everyone says that he was a good coach.
he's
Yeah?
a great coach, really
Yeah,
hard
I've
coach.
heard a few times, yeah.
He used to, I probably got my all-time best sprays off Barry Mitchell, and I reckon most who played under him would say that.
Yeah.
Could give a spray, but backed you in. I mean, that sounds sort of silly, doesn't it? Sprayed you, but backed you in.
Yeah.
But great coach, great guy, great coach. Ran into him in Tassie the other day, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's obviously breeds them pretty well too. His son's
Son's a good player.
Yeah, no, someone's in the van player either. That's right. That's it. All right, tell me, the first game.
Yep.
Not, we'll go you playing, but how did you hear about it? Like, what happens?
That's a good question. I can remember how they told me I was getting. I can remember how they told me I was getting drafted because I was training with the Blues.
I'll tell us that one.
I was training with them in the pre-season with the chance of getting a spot.
Yeah.
So then the day of the rookie draft, they said, you can't really come in and train because if we don't pick you up, that's going to be awkward because you're sort of going to have to get marched off the track. So they said, go wait in the car park and we'll give you a call if if you get picked
Go
up.
away in the car
So I
park.
had to go back out in the car, leave training, go out in the car park.
Just sit there.
We've lost our own fan.
We had one person
We had
watching
one
us,
fan.
and she's actually just
She's
shooed
that
off.
disgusted she walked out.
That wasn't that bad a story.
Jesus Christ.
She actually gave us a foof.
They agrees with your bag on the table too.
Not happy.
So anyway, they called me and said they obviously knew. You'd assume going into it. They said, yeah, I was lucky enough to get a rookie spot, so I walked back into training from the car.
horrific.
First game.
What if they said no, you just walk home?
They drew
Oh, driven home, yeah. You drive
They
home.
didn't keep the car. I probably wouldn't have been able to afford it. So, I don't know. That's good. Would have driven back to Ballarat and played VFL
That's
that
it.
night.
Maybe become a jockey at Hamilton.
Yeah. First game. So my first game was Rats' second game, I think. So it was the year that Pagan got the sack.
Oh, yeah.
So I never played under Dennis. I think it was Rats' second game. So I think just called into his office
As the interim.
As the interim.
Yeah,
Yes.
he would have
That's
been
right.
interim,
Yeah,
yeah.
so he wasn't given it
Mid-season,
straight away, was he?
07 or 6? 06.
07.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So I played the last 5 games of the year, so around 17 or
Yeah.
whatever. I think they just called me.
And we had a
in the office
good
and
patch,
said,
like where we seemed to be playing all right.
We
I don't
played a
know
lot
if the
better.
results,
We didn't win.
Yeah.
So I didn't win any of the first 5. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think, yeah.
but the system was showing that we could.
Better,
It was
yeah.
better.
Yeah.
My first win the next year was either going to be my first win or we were going to break the record of most losses in a row. And we beat Collingwood.
We beat
I think,
Collingwood round 3.
Yeah, round
Round 3
3.
when Fev kicked 8.
Yeah.
That was against Essendon, wasn't it?
No.
Definitely Collingwood.
Oh,
was
2008. Yes, you're right.
The
Yeah,
year
sorry,
that he kicked 8 and
2008.
7.
Greg rolled one home. He
Yeah.
rolled
Yes.
that goal home. Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
bit
Played
of
on
a-
cloak.
So it was either that or you're
Yes.
part of the most losingest
Yeah,
streak. in
yeah,
history.
yeah.
And you made it.
Did you actually, think about that? Like, was that in the back of your mind?
I can't remember what I had for breakfast. Let alone.
Yeah, no, fair
But I think so. I think because I got a feeling it was Collingwood that potentially held the record.
Yeah.
So it was
Okay.
either they were going to get stuck with this shit
Yeah.
record,
Yeah.
or we were.
Yeah.
So I think it was in the build up a little bit.
Yeah.
But we were just keen to win.
I think I still might have.
Absolutely.
Well, certainly no one would have lost that many in a row.
No,
since. It was
Gold
a
Coast
lot.
hasn't.
Yeah, it was a
Nah,
lot.
That was a big winning streak, a losing streak. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
That was tough on.
I'm trying to think what it was, but maybe 13 or something. Ring a bell.
Okay.
Potentially.
That's
Yeah.
a big game, that. When did you think, when you were playing AFL, when did you think, yep, I've made it?
I've made it?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
here. I belong.
Yeah, Skinny Lappin always used to speak about it. Like you sort of you doubt yourself, and there's
Yep.
a stage where you just know.
Yep.
But I think you're always. I mean, 150 games. I was still thinking, okay, am I good enough?
Yeah,
but
yeah, of
I reckon
course,
you get
of
to the
course.
50 game mark.
Yep.
You play on a few really good players, and you do a reasonable job. And you get to the stage where you're like, am I going to get picked next week or not? That's probably when you
course.
think.
Yeah.
So probably around the 50 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, as we said, I was a rookie, bit of a speculative pick. So you sort
course,
of always
yeah.
doubt yourself a little
Yeah,
bit.
of course.
You, speaking of good players you played on, I want to get into the nitty gritty of it.
Yeah.
That game you played against, did you chuck up against Rui?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What game? Was that when we were wearing the baby blue?
Baby blue.
goods?
Yeah.
What,
Yeah.
what happened?
I was a bit of a chucker anyway. So it
Okay,
was-
right.
I think,
Loves a gag.
So it wasn't just, yeah. I think that combined with playing on a bloke who just doesn't fucking stop
Aerobically,
running,
just
yeah,
unbelievable.
which wasn't my strength at all.
Yeah.
But you could do it.
Oh, not really.
You did. You're being modest. You killed
I'd
him
just,
that day.
I'd just stop at the 50. It was like
Yeah.
a barrier.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
walks would take him or something up the field.
Yeah.
But you were pretty good at like checking out your homework on players.
Yeah.
You were always pretty prestigious in that, like knowing who you're playing on, knowing
Yeah.
their strengths, and you'd go to town on that.
Well, I was probably not a naturally gifted player. Like you look at Weeders, right? He's fucking
yeah,
massive.
Jesus.
Reads to play
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Just a gifted footballer.
Yeah.
Whereas I was probably didn't have those strengths.
to work
I had to
hard,
work
right?
hard.
You had work
Of course.
ethic.
That's a rookie sort of mentality
Yeah.
because leave no stone unturned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you still get beaten half the time, but at least it wasn't because you didn't do.
Yeah, no, that's it. You gave yourself the best chance, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
And the goal against Hawthorn.
That's
The
probably my
first goal,
favourite
My
moment
first
of you.
goal. I kicked my first goal in my first game.
Wow.
We all know that.
Really?
But
Did
they
you
called
really?
it a point. Yeah.
Oh,
they
yeah.
called a
So
point.
first game, right,
Oh,
straight
right,
off,
too,
kicked
yeah.
this snap and celebrated like an absolute dickhead. I've almost got back to the centre square and then.
And they've done
realised-
Jack Noons on you.
That reminds us of.
They did a Jack Noons on
yeah.
you.
That reminds us of the weekend when News
Oh,
kicked
News
a
is-
goal. We
oh,
celebrated
oh,
like
yeah,
dickheads,
I
and then
know.
they turned
I
it
know.
around.
Yeah, then they turned it around.
Yeah.
That
But,
goal against
but
Hawthorn.
that first goal, in actual fact, everyone that's watching has just watched that. That
Okay,
highlight.
yeah.
right?
Oh, there you go. It's up in the
Now,
corner.
I want to know how many times did you pump Yeah, like, was it like...
13, I reckon. Someone White's asking the same question. I nearly took Jeffrey Garland.
Oh yeah, Garland. You
Yeah, you see him with his arm. But I copped.
Almost
you guys
killed him.
Got to understand. That was probably my say 7th year of footy, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
copped rubbish from
Yeah,
40 blokes each year, so different blokes about never kicking a goal. So it was more relief than
And then you
up
became,
here to the
you became a
teammates.
little bit of a swingman after that, in that year.
Only when I was going shit house down
Again,
there.
the West Coast final, we
Yeah.
put you up
But we were
forward.
getting punished in that game.
Against Hawthorn.
Hawthorn were getting slammed.
We're
So
at
they
we're
moved
at the
you
game
up
together.
forward.
We're at the
I
game
kicked 1-3,
together.
unfortunately.
You didn't play on Buddy. I think you played on Roughhead. Bauer
It was
went
my
to
first game back after 8 weeks
yeah,
off.
and Bauer went to Franklin.
Can't remember.
But I remember they chucked you up forward,
Yeah.
presented.
Oh, presented.
On Ryan Showmakers.
Oh,
you
yeah.
gave Ryan Showmakers the old fucking Nevo and bang!
I kicked one. I
Hit the post
once.
once.
I played on for some stupid reason once. And
Started getting
made the distance.
confident.
There was that snap you did at the post, yeah.
Didn't even, and then I snapped it. Didn't make the distance.
So, yeah, there was a bit of feather
Got
about
to
you.
kick,
But that,
kick forward.
I love it. That's sick. That's sick. No,
Who was
that's-
your as a teammate? Who did you? Oh well, first like coming into the club, who did you sort of look up to? I know Juddy come in 08, but
Yeah.
who was your not idol, but someone you sort of tried to look up to from a standard point of view?
Fuck, you're really pushing me, guys.
Probably
Probably
just
not.
going to be exit. This is the jumper punch, mate.
Yeah.
Straight to the target.
Correct.
I'm trying to think.
No
Like,
mucking around.
when I first got drafted, like, I mean, they're obviously good players.
Yeah.
And they won best and fairest, but one of them was like David Teague took me under his wing.
Right,
and I
right,
remember that. Think of what you wanted about a coach. I don't know.
Oh, as a
Don't know
player,
what
was
you-
as courageous
As
as
a player.
anyone.
courageous, but
Well, he won a best and fairest.
Won a
Bloody
best-
oath.
but had time for young kids.
He had time
Like,
for
a lot of older
everyone.
players at that stage. There was almost a disconnect, but he had time for us. Same with Wigo.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys had Wigo. Did you get Wigo? After
Yeah,
that?
I'll work as we go.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, no, he's
But like
good value.
amazingly generous with his time.
Yeah.
And then Simo was obviously a,
legend.
course,
you know, we all don't
Star.
need to speak about that.
Yeah.
Brad Fisher was great for the young kids. So it wasn't these 250 game
Of course,
superstars.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
the guys that gave you the time and
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
helped you a little bit. Like
Of course, of course.
Yeah.
It's great.
No, you get you start off the career, right? And
Andrew
you,
Krutzo, sorry, I've got to mention him.
Oh,
Oh,
Karatza,
Krutzo,
yeah.
he
Good
was
old
good.
Karatza.
Yeah, he was good, man. Anyone that has triplets and then can steal.
Sleep.
That's one of
Wigo.
my trains.
That's one of your
That's Wigo.
He's gone past giving us a hello.
Anyone who can have triplets and still be able to sleep.
I'm telling you, mate, that's like extreme, mate. Like, I've got 2 dogs, mate, and they drive me crazy, mate.
Looking after Shaw Grigg back in the day was like having triplets.
You guys were good mates, weren't you?
We lived together.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's as loose as they come on, Grigger.
I was going to say, like, you didn't win many games.
Yeah.
How is it, man, going into training? Like, mate, it would have to be disheartening after a while.
It's 2 parts of it. It is really hard. I think this is going to sound terrible. What helped us younger guys at the time was that's all we knew.
Yeah.
Which sounds horrible,
Yeah.
but like we wanted to win and we were building towards it. But I think it would have been much harder for guys that had come from success and
Yes.
knowing that
100%.
to then being.
You
and
didn't know any
potentially
different.
maybe that's why it took the club so long to turn around. It's
Yeah.
trying to teach this
Yeah.
winning
habit,
mentality
of
and
course.
habits, and when you've never had it,
Probably still learning it.
hopefully they've got it now. Right?
Yeah, but
It takes a while.
it takes a while.
Yeah, and, you know, when you're young and 18, you sort of come in and it's new and exciting. But I tell you, yeah, you're right. After a couple of years, it's like, gee whiz, like,
Yeah.
how long can you do this for? When you look at this Jason Horn-Francis,
He's probably
Yeah,
feeling the same
yeah.
way.
She's copping it.
Yeah, no,
you,
no,
know,
it'll
you
be
expect
hard.
this thing to come in the AFL and it'd be glitz and glory and win
Yeah, but
games.
it's just
and
hard
act like
work,
it's fucking
man.
a slog, you know?
It's hard
Doesn't
work,
matter what
man.
level it
And
is.
we feel bad, like, walking out the ground. Like, imagine, like,
players,
as
of
a
course.
player, because you can actually do something, you mean? Like, and half the time you probably, not blame yourself, like, I play a little bit of amateur, like, sport, and I blame myself for every loss, you know? Like, that was my fault, I can't
We were
believe it.
speaking about that in the car on the way here. Like you felt the losses.
Bloody oath, yeah.
You
And I
felt
think
them.
good team people will
Yeah,
feel
of
a loss.
course.
If you don't feel the loss and if you don't blame yourself, you're probably in the wrong sport.
Yeah, no,
You know,
100%,
if you don't
especially a
care.
team sport like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
What? Who were your favourite footballers growing up?
Growing up,
looking in it?
I don't know if
Yeah.
I can mention on this podcast.
Were you a Collingwood?
I was an Essendon.
I was going to
Sorry,
say,
I was gonna
that's
say-
all they are.
We've
Essendon,
had
Collingwood.
our last. Well, we've had
Kuda.
Christu was a Collingwood fan
Was he? Yeah,
and would
yeah.
this is
He was-
he would play
Yeah.
and then go into the Collingwood cheer squad and wave the flags. And go,
I
you
was-
don't hate Carlton,
I
you
was
do
on
it
Training
over
the under
the bench.
19 and on the Sunday going in the cheer
Oh,
squad.
that's
And
That's
then
a bit
Monday
dingy.
at training,
Yeah.
hand sticks, hand Silvani. Yeah,
that's next level. I wasn't that bad. I was an
Well, you were
Essendon
Essendon,
supporter,
yeah.
so I liked obviously Hurd,
Lloydie.
Lloyd. I
And you
played on
played on
Lloyd in
him.
my third
And
game.
you played on him.
But I used to like the players like Solomon and
Oh, yeah.
Hardwick.
So who are the
and,
left of field players that you sort of like that
Then
would be
I'll
up
give you
in
one
life?
from
Yeah.
Geelong. I used to like Tim McGrath for some reason. Remember?
Tim McGrath.
Really?
That's a while back.
He was like a
Sheesh.
half-backer maybe.
Yeah.
I used to like those sort of... who was the
Unassuming footballers.
full-back from West Coast? I used to always...
Darren Glass.
No, before him. He had
Djakovic.
both was it McIntosh?
Oh, yeah, the big boy.
Yeah, both the braces on his knees, like just those old rough and ready.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
There's some left field ones for you.
Yeah, that's good.
It is
So-
pretty left field.
So you're at
Essendon,
Essendon, and you go. I ask this to a lot of the players. So you go to Carlton. How long before you?
Not long, straight away. I wasn't. Are you going to say until I became a Carlton person?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was never like you meet guys like oh mate, I just
Yeah.
they're never going to sway. They're never going to move. Like he could go and play for Collingwood and he's still going to be
Fuck
Carlton
no.
supporter.
No way in hell.
I wasn't like a go to every game, watch every
Yeah.
minute. I just enjoyed footy, so it was sort of straight away for me.
Yeah, straight away.
Yeah.
And do you hate Essendon now, or do you?
I did when I was there.
Yeah.
I did when I
You
was
do.
there. I work at the AFLPA now, so
Yeah,
I
I know.
love all the players.
Yeah, you like
You have to show the love.
I like everybody.
You have to show the love.
But no, I do dislike other teams more than some.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Essendon, where we were playing, that was beaten into us basically.
Who was the biggest rivalry at that time? Because
Them.
for
Probably
me,
Essendon.
I'm old school.
Yeah.
Like Collingwood.
It was
Nothing
them
but
be-
misery.
Remember
but-
those matches that we had against them?
It was them because
Those Saturday night
Rats
matches.
obviously hated them.
Yeah.
They used to build it up.
See, the old school, they hate
Yeah,
Collingwood.
Sticks used to come in before those games.
Yeah, I remember that.
The rev up.
There was a different level of hatred towards those guys.
Yeah, definitely Collingwood, man.
I remember those Saturday night matches that we used to play, and it was always a shootout.
Yeah.
You'd go to Lloyd, and then they try and put someone on Fev, and it was
Yeah.
basically who would kick the most goals,
Yeah.
no defence at all, and we
Madness.
majority of the time we'd lose.
I don't know.
And we'd spew, my God.
Yeah.
We had the big turnaround. I don't think you played in that game when Fev
That was
kicked.
year
before you.
6 or 7, but before I was playing.
Yeah.
yeah.
07 when Fev.
It was early 07.
And then the early days when
yeah.
Judd came along, we had those games on the Saturday nights.
And then it turned to Richmond for a while. What we had, remember we
Yeah.
came back a lot of times against Richmond.
The
Yeah.
Thursday night matches.
Well, that was in 13, I think.
That was
Yeah.
the big one.
Yeah.
But even before that, there was a few where we
Well,
snatched
in
the
that
lead
year,
or they snatched the lead.
in that year, we actually like both games. If you
Yeah,
remember, we
yeah.
came back from 5 goals
Yes.
behind.
Yeah.
We
Brock
lost the
McLean
first
kicked
one.
We lost the first
Yes.
one,
Yeah.
round one.
Won the second one.
Yeah,
But we
Aaron
still
kicked
came
it.
back.
Yeah,
We
Aaron
won
two
the second
shots.
one. Yeah.
Brock McLean kicked that one that went
That
over
one
the
of
top.
the rain.
Remember that?
That was the year after.
Great night.
Was it
No,
the year
no,
after?
that was
Year
that year.
before.
The year before.
Year before.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was that under
You played.
rates?
That was no, I can't remember.
Yeah, he kicked it over the. Yeah.
Levi
That was-
went to market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
I didn't mean to mark it. I didn't mean it. It was going through.
This photo,
Yes.
Cripper.
Yes.
Explain that you've still got a close
We do,
friendship,
we do,
friendship
actually.
with him, and
Yeah,
you
we
played
do.
with him, and what,
Yeah.
what was your relationship with him like at the club, and what is it now? at the moment?
It's someone asked me this the other day, and I'm not sure why we hit it off at the footy club because obviously I was older, probably established, and full back.
Yeah.
And then he was, as he describes himself, and I heard Murph, just a young chubby kid from WA.
He was,
But
yeah.
I was a rookie. He was a first round draft pick, midfielder. So I don't know how or why we hit it off. I know that he was a kid that sometimes you get first round draft picks. They come to the club and they've made it, and it's I don't need help and I don't need to ask questions. And he was the opposite.
Yeah.
It was, who's the experienced guys around this footy club that I can get any sort of pieces of knowledge off. And I think he wanted to work on his body work, and rather than work on, he was such a fucking big guy, as we know.
Yeah.
It was like, I'll try the key back bloke.
Yeah.
And we sort of went from there. And now he's just that good a person that even how busy you can imagine he is, being the captain of the footy club and commitments, he just makes an effort and we catch up, whenever he can, once a month. And, he still asks for the tips and I ask him for advice. And he's just a good dude.
Well,
It's good friends.
And a perfect captain.
Well, he's
best captain
definitely
we can have
lifted
at
to
the
that.
moment.
Yeah.
Lifted to the role, you know what I mean?
Yes,
And
yeah.
listen, anyone that knows me, mate, I bagged him for a few years because I thought he was.
You didn't
I didn't bag him. I just
You were
thought,
hard on
like,
him. You
I
were
was
hard.
hard on him. I
Yeah.
just thinking, man, you gotta like, what are you doing?
And
you
then
know?
we realised what the last 2 years he's been doing. What he's
Yeah,
had,
of course. But this year, like, just a beast, man.
You
Like,
see, he's fit again.
he's fit again, and he's really taking on. You can see like
The
he's
leader
almost
role.
like lifted that little bit more. Like he's
Yeah.
kind
Shoulders
of like,
are higher.
Yeah, he's kind of done the thing. So definitely all like all respect for.
I
him,
reckon,
mate.
I don't know, from afar it looked to me with Cripper that when he first got the captaincy, he was almost trying to do too much.
Yes.
The burden.
And he wasn't given it.
eventually.
Like, as in, he
Yeah.
still had docs with him.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
sometimes you can feel like you're still 50-50
Yeah.
That
split.
would be hard because actually you did you captain the side one
A couple
or
of
two ago?
fill-ins, yeah.
A couple
Yeah.
of fill-ins. Still, that one
It
game.
does, yeah.
What does that feel like? Does all of a sudden the pressure build on
It does. It really does. Well, you know that ultimately you're not, but you feel responsible.
Yeah.
For how everyone's performing. When you sometimes, I reckon, might have been the case with Cripper. The best thing he can do for the team is just perform himself.
Yes.
And play like he is this year.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know, but you have a broken back and you're trying to make everyone
You?
else.
Could have broken back.
And
and
you're
just
trying to
go
make
play
everyone
police.
else better with a team that's battling and getting hounded
Yeah.
in the media. Like you can see where that
Yeah.
pressure would just almost weigh you down, and he looked a bit weighed down.
Yeah.
This year he's obviously healthy again, and
He's got a bit of help.
he's got a fucking
Yeah,
help.
he's
That's
got
a
some
big
help.
difference.
Yeah, I reckon that's a big difference.
And that
too.
just allows him to go back and do what he does best. He doesn't have to do three
100%.
jobs, right?
100%, man. 100%.
Now, you're pretty modest. I've known you for
Hosting now, are you?
No, I want to ask you a question because we've been mates for a long time. How long have we known each other? What, 10 years?
Too long.
Yeah, a long time.
Yeah.
And as long as I've known you, you've always been a pretty modest guy.
Yeah.
But you were a pretty damn good defender, man. Like,
I
I think
was
you
a
just
dour defender in a team where there weren't many other
you did a damn
defenders.
good job. You did
Well, I
a damn
did
good
give
job.
The job, I think.
I think it's times, man. You were the only person that we had that you like. You came in and then, like as I said, you come in as that rookie and then, yeah, hopefully he does his job and then all of a sudden you were like, man, Jamo, what do you mean he's out? We're
that
stuffed
was
now.
true.
I'm telling
Remember
you.
that game against West Coast we went to?
Yeah.
Him and Robbo were out and we're like, we're fucked.
Yeah, I know.
Yes.
We
yeah.
did.
That's
We're
why
fucking, we lost.
knew
Oh,
No, we took that specky.
He tried to tell me it was on me.
No, it wasn't. No, it was on Brett Thornton.
Oh, I remember it now.
Yes,
yeah.
and Eddie had.
You were
Yeah,
out that
yeah,
game.
yeah.
And remember, that was, I think
Yes,
that was the first
the
game
first
we
game
went
I took you to,
And
yeah.
I'm like, mate, we turned around and go, we're fucked. We're cool.
Yeah, I remember. You were laid out that day.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to him, this is not good for us. And, no, but you're very
Well,
modest.
we're showing at the moment.
I
It's
think
hard to
the
replace
bar
quarterbacks.
is, you know
Yeah.
what the bar is? If you haven't copped the spray from us,
Yeah.
you're all right.
Yeah, no, that's
From
right.
you especially,
Yeah,
I think.
from you, man. You got
I've always had a
to.
soft spot for you.
No, definitely, man. I'm telling you, you were important, man. And in those years, man, we were struggling bad, man. We were just looking for like little nuggets of gold here and there. You know
now
what
there's
I mean?
plenty of it. Where do you see the club? I know obviously Teague, what happened with Teague, and now
Yeah.
Bossy's coming. Where do you see the club at now, on the field and off the field? And do you have any, is there still an association with the club? Do you still feel a tight bond
Yeah,
with them as well? Or?
I feel connected to the club. I'm just a fan, like you
Yep,
guys.
of course, yeah.
Like, so no official roles or anything.
Yep.
Where do I see them? Probably where everyone else does. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of evident with the way they're going on the
course.
field at the moment. But they just look like they've. I think when we all at Carlton play their best footy, we look attractive because we're playing quick and fast. But I think it's
Aggressive.
always built off.
Yeah.
Obviously, what Vossi's brought in is that contest,
definitely.
numbers at the ball. But then we've got some composure as well, don't we? Like we're
Yeah.
balling around the
At
stop, we're trying
times,
to line
I
in.
think like it's going to take some time. What do I know, right? But I think it's going to take some
You
time
guys watch
because
more footy than anyone.
yeah, well, the
so-
thing is, like I think that there's too many gaps in there. Like we play well,
Yeah.
but then we play ordinary. I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of passengers at times, you know, and then we play well again. You know what I mean? And then until we fill that 4 quarters or fill
It's
at
not
least 3 quarters. You know, like there's a
Yeah.
lot to learn, but this is what people got to understand too. I know it's a few years into the rebuild, but this year's really the first year where
Exactly.
It's starting to come
we're
along.
doing something. It's going to take a little while, you know.
And he knows that it's not the end product. I think Voss
Of
keeps
course,
saying
he
that when he
keeps
comes
saying
out.
it. He keeps
You know, we're
saying
still
it.
learning to build and all that. So,
I think
that's
with
nothing but good.
a first year coach, it usually takes a while.
Yeah,
so
of course.
to be, what are we?
9-4.
It's probably not. We would have all
Probably would have taken that.
of
to start
course.
the year. And you know what? The thing is as well
Blink of
about the
an eye.
losses, you can actually see how we've lost and you can fix it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not like it's been dire straits.
Yeah.
You look back at the losses that we've had, especially last Thursday night, you look at it and say, yeah,
Yeah.
we overpossessed the
Yeah.
ball. We were beaten at the contest. You
Yeah.
fix those things,
Yeah.
you probably win the game.
And you know,
Collingwood game's the same.
the positive of all these bloody injuries is hopefully we get them back and they're fresh.
Yeah.
Well, that's exactly right.
If we
That's-
get them back,
that's
and if
the
we can
silver
hold on
lining.
until
And
then.
we could have found a couple of new
Exactly.
players. Like,
Yeah.
so you were a defender.
Yeah,
Lewis Young. What do you reckon about, like, mate, that bloke?
It's been incredible.
incredibly well.
Unbelievably.
Yeah.
Like, I really gave him no chance at the
Yeah.
start of the year. I go, who is this bloke? But
I mean, we
I'm
gave
going-
nothing up for him, did we?
Oh,
No.
pick
No,
50 odd.
50.
I think it was Samo's pick.
And they'd love to have him. The
Bloody
Bulldogs.
nice.
And this is the thing, we found someone like, you
Boyd.
know, like, Boyd had a good game, yeah.
Yeah,
he was-
Yeah, so
yeah.
that's what's the good thing about
You find
getting
un-
some injuries. We
Uncovering
can
a few,
find,
yeah.
put some pressure on some of those
What,
other people.
Yeah.
You're working with AFLPA.
I am.
What's your role entailed there?
I'm in the
What are you guys
commercial
trying to do?
department.
Yep.
So,
Yep,
I
yep,
mean,
yep.
you see Carlton, God, you were in Carlton, Hyundai and Virgin. So
Yeah.
I sort of look
Okay.
after the sponsors for the
Okay,
AFLPA.
okay.
Yep.
And they're probably not so much, they don't get their names on a jumper, but we
Okay.
try and look after guys with
Behind
job
the scenes.
transition and
Yep.
career development and partners like
Because
that.
that's really big.
And I was just going to
That's-
say,
of
it's a
course.
massive area now that's part of the game. So where do you think, I mean, for me, I think at the start of the career,
Yeah.
there's talk that they should maybe potentially push the draft age
Yeah.
to maybe into the 20s or something like that. And then later in life, how you set a player up
Yeah.
in their career post-football. What's sort of going on in that space? So from when the player first gets in and to potentially when they finish up their career.
Yeah, well, we do a lot. Like we do a lot around education and
Yep.
training, career transition. I think what's important is that the clubs and the clubs do as well. The clubs have got PDMs
Of course.
whilst the
Yeah.
players are there.
Yep.
I think the issue that the players identify themselves and everyone sees is, you know, you see some things in the media recently about some players that have fallen on hard
Yeah.
times. It's all
course.
when they're leaving
Yeah.
the game.
Of course, yeah.
So I think that's where the clubs and the AFL still need to play a role and not just be all up to the
Do they
AFL.
play enough?
I think the PA sort of once players leave clubs, it tends to fall onto us, and I think
okay.
it needs to be everyone.
Because
still
that heat
having-
comes on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I-
which
but I-
is
which is
necessary.
fine, and we're happy to play our role.
Yeah.
I think everyone else needs to pick up a bit of the slack as
I
well.
think so.
Because I mean, there's so many players, right? Like,
100%. And like I heard a stat that like the average footballers like playing
Yeah.
is like 4 years.
yeah,
Like 4 years, that's not a lot. So if you come out of, if you're a banana at school, right, all you do is footy, well, think about it.
Banana.
You're a banana at school, you come out of footy, you play 4 years,
Yeah.
and then you come, and then you're
You're
digging holes
24
for a
years
living.
old and you don't know what you're
what I
doing,
mean?
yeah.
And then, and to me, like, you're a bit of a rock star when you're playing, and then you leave,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
how does that feel?
Well, you add that to those 4 years. That's where all your mates have gone and got a trade, or they've gone to
Yeah,
uni.
of
So you
course.
come
So you're
out,
behind.
they've moved on.
Yeah.
So you don't have that support from your mates either.
You've lived a different lifestyle.
Yeah, you've been on at least 200 grand a year.
Yeah.
So you
You're on
think
good money.
That's going to go forever. You come out and you realise, no, the average is about 50 or 60.
At the moment,
You know,
yeah.
you've been living this lifestyle as you spoke about.
Yeah.
You just want that to continue to try and keep up with everyone else that's doing it. That's gone. So it's
So you
like
can
guys-
understand also the depression and that all
Bloody
of a
oath,
sudden
yeah,
falls into
yeah.
it, like.
And that's what, you know, football players sort of associate with that identity of being a football player.
Yeah, of
That's
course.
gone in. It can be one meeting.
Literally
you know,
one-
an
yeah,
hour.
You get an exit meeting, that's it. And then
Exactly,
you're
you're
a
right
normal
too, mate.
person after.
That's what I judge myself on. That's gone. So, am I failing now? 'Cause
Yeah,
that's
Yeah,
not
exactly,
normal, so-
exactly.
Now I remember when we were together at the club when I was working there. You were studying.
Yeah.
What were you studying?
I just did a straight up business degree.
Yeah.
Which took forever, but it was more something to,
Something to do.
So you could have it after.
yeah, just almost
Yeah.
switch off from footy.
Of course, of
Yeah.
course, of course. So how did you find the transition from finishing
Yeah.
to getting into? Well, I say the real world. It's all real world.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
I know what you mean.
Getting into
Yeah.
back to normal, normal life.
I thought I would set up pretty well. Like I'd done a bit of studying and had sort of made the most of the networks at Carlton, you know, because that's a huge strength of the club and had good connections. And I still struggled. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
still missed the footy. I didn't miss footy because I was ready to retire, but I missed my mates and I missed the structure. I think that's what guys.
Camaraderie.
Yeah, so you miss all those things.
Yeah.
So even though I was set up, I still struggled, and it still took me, I reckon, 3 years. You know, we spoke about when did I feel like I'd made it at footy.
Footy, okay,
That
right.
took 3 years.
Okay.
I reckon it took me
Yeah.
3 years to realise, all right, now I get what this rest of the part of
Yeah.
my life's about.
Yeah.
You know, see, I completely empathise and understand the players that struggle a little bit.
Of course.
Yeah.
I think we as fans as well have to understand too that if a player's down a day or so, you just don't know.
Everyone
You
has
know,
a down day.
or
Yeah.
You don't rock up to work every day and you're
Bloody oath.
100%.
I know, like a clown,
You know,
you're ready.
I know,
to-
exactly.
Everything's ready to rock and roll.
Exactly.
So I
Everyone
think
has
these
a
players
time.
get paid so much money, and I think people sometimes mistake that for thinking they have to be different people. And live
Of course,
different
of
lives.
course, of
Like,
course, of
You
course.
see these players going out for
Yeah.
a beer, and fans saying they should be going out for a beer.
Yeah, I know.
Well, where do you lose
mate,
your
Like,
basic?
where do you lose your rights?
Yeah.
What the hell?
Because you get paid a
It's
lot
like
of
Tagoe
money.
at the moment. He's
Yeah.
come out.
Yeah.
Don't get
It's
me
gone
started
Bali,
on that one there.
Starts
Like, I think they're going overboard with that. But anyway, listen, and this is why the jumper punch, we do these interviews, because I'm telling you, bring light to
You have
these
to.
kind of
Yeah,
issues.
people
you know
don't
what I
realise
mean?
this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, we don't realise that. Like, at the end of the day, like, they are just, like, and the other thing is at 18, right? At 18,
Yeah.
right? Seriously, at 18, I'm embarrassed of what the person I was, man. I'm lucky there was no cameras at the time. I'm telling you, it was bad. Now, at 18, we expect them to be these role
Yeah.
models and supermen, you know what
You
I
have to
mean?
be
And
prim
you
and
shouldn't
proper.
be doing that, you
Yeah.
shouldn't be doing that. And come on, man. They're
But 18.
kids. They're
I mean,
kids.
I mean, you've got to sacrifice some things and give up some
Yeah,
things.
yeah, of
I
course.
Yeah,
get
maybe
that.
the booze. Yeah, like maybe
You know,
during
because
the
you are
week.
getting paid a lot, and we're not making you do it. You guys want to do it,
Yeah.
but there's a balance, right?
Of
They've got to
course.
still be kids and
Moderation.
learn things. And,
Moderation.
yeah,
Of course.
that's
Live.
right. Yeah, they're still
Live.
We've got to leave, yeah.
Well, what about Swanee? Mate,
He's
bloke was a
young.
champion.
Yeah, Dusty.
Mate,
Dusty.
bloke was a bloody champion.
Dusty's
Mate.
the
They're all
same.
champions.
Yeah.
You got to, if you get that balance right,
Yeah.
you know. doesn't-
100%, man. And
Yeah.
you got to live life, man, too. Like, let them just live life, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? But listen, we're all, I'm telling you, we're the worst, man. Supporters, we're critics, we're generals,
Yes.
we know
They-
what's going on,
People
you
buy
know.
their memberships, and that's a big
And
part
we-
of people's
Well,
lives.
that's-
Yeah, no, no.
It is a big part of all of our lives, you know, like
It
we
is.
That's a community.
care about the
and a
product.
connection, Yeah.
It does.
I've got a
Should.
funny little story. I have to share it about
What?
in 2011.
Concerning.
No concerning.
We could
I was
always
waiting for this. I
We
was
were
waiting
together.
to do something.
I'll say a story, a little story. So
Is this the-
yeah,
is this our
Brisbane,
story?
Brisbane,
Oh,
yeah.
God, okay.
So we played up in. I was when I was working at the club, and
Yeah.
you'd got me some change room passes. You probably don't remember.
Regret that already.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. So
Asterisks on this. I
Yes,
had a
you
big,
flew-
thick,
we
full
flew
head
up
of
to the-
hair when
Oh,
we
did
at
you?
yes,
this
he
stage.
did. He had
Yeah.
hair. This
Thick
is when
hair.
Paul had hair.
Thick
So we
hair.
flew up to the.
Gold Coast.
We flew up to Gold Coast, and us as bozos, young 18-year-olds, we didn't realise that the game was in Brisbane. So we're flying up, and we've got up to the Gold Coast, and we get up there, and we're like, how the fuck are we going to get to Brisbane now? It's an hour drive.
Yeah, yeah, that's
well, we don't
right.
have a car up there,
Yeah.
so we caught a train. So we get on this thing from Naran, where it was. and-
Nerang,
yeah,
yeah,
Nerang.
yeah,
We
yeah.
get on the train, and we get in nice and early with a couple other mates of ours, and we go to the game. We win the game. Jamison plays a good game. Everyone plays a good game. We go to the change rooms after. It's about 11 o'clock at night, and everyone's having a good time. And we're turning around to each other and we're like, how the fuck are we going to get home? We have to get back to Gold Coast.
Yeah, you're gonna-
So I turned around to Jammer and I said, how am I going to get home? I've got to get back to Gold Coast. You're staying here in Brisbane. He goes, let me ask Shano Sullivan. Shano comes up to me and goes, I think Jamison's parents are going back to Gold Coast. I think Jamison's parents are going back to the Gold Coast. Anyway, Lockie Henderson's mum was going back. She took Paul
Me?
and two of our other mates,
Went back.
and I went with Jamie's parents, and I'm in his Land Rover, and we're driving back all the way on the Brisbane freeway to Gold Coast. We stopped off at Cavill Avenue, had a kebab with his dad. They had already come back with
We were
Lockie
back in the
Henderson's
hotel.
mum. Happy New Year.
Haven't
We
got
go
rid
out
of
that
it
night. I
since.
think we went out that night.
Haven't been able to get rid of you since.
Hey,
And we haven't been out, yeah.
Aren't they the best troops, mate?
Yeah,
That was good
and we
fun.
won as well.
And we won.
We won as
you
well.
won.
Yeah,
There you go. Wow.
that was good
She's
fun.
a lovely lady, Susan.
Yes.
No,
Yeah.
that's good, man. All right, this has been good, man. This has been.
very
You
much,
enjoy it?
Fantastic. Yeah, I didn't know if I'd be entertaining enough for you
You're
guys.
entertaining.
Come on, as I said, you're one of the OG podcasts.
I'm glad that you
And he's
guys
a fan of The Sopranos too.
He's a
Yeah.
fan of
Oh,
The Sopranos.
right.
We learn.
Yeah,
we
so-
learn. Yeah, no. So no.
I need
this-
that impersonation again of Paul.
do it.
What do you hear? What do you say?
I love it. All right, thank you very much, mate.
Pleasure.
Yeah, mate.
Great to be here.
We are. You are now like I tell this to everybody, right? You are now a legend
Yeah.
of the jumper punch.
So
All
you're
right,
the number
so-
40 record holder for the
Record
day.
holder.
You get an orange juice. You get an orange
You
juice.
got the
lasagna
And
before.
lasagna and an orange
That's
juice.
it.
There you
That's
go.
it. All right, mate. Thank you
Pleasure,
very
mate.
much.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very
Terrific.
much.
Appreciate it, mate.
Pleasure.
Thank you very
Thanks, Bob.
much.
Thank you.
And go
Thank you.
blue.
Thank you, too.
No, no.
No,
Thanks,
don't thank
Macca
me.
as well. Thanks,
Thanks,
Macca.
Paul. Thank
Cheers.
you.